I think most people don't take the time to create their real mission, their personal mission statement. Like, my mission statement in my life is, how do I help as many people as I can live the life of their dreams, right?
Look at Daddy. Give me a kiss. I love you so much.
I love you.
I love you more. I think it's important you have a fundamental dream. And this fundamental dream will always stay the same, but it will transform itself and constantly change with the people that are in your lives. My dreams in my 30s is totally different from now. As soon as I got married, now I had a soulmate that had to be part of my dreams. At 50, having a child, she became part of that dream.
I context switch, okay? Now, and the night before, I've already planned out what I'm gonna work on in the business, So then at 2:30, 3 o'clock, I context switch again. It's all about the kids, and I context switch again. Now it's all about Jen and us. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a nonstop just having everything in line, because if not, I don't have the time and the energy to be able to give what I need to give to everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you may forget, and you may give something a little bit too much and then forget to do the other until you realize, oh crap, a month went by and I didn't connect with my wife.
Yeah.
Or a month
No,
went
that
by and I
that
didn't
never
connect with my
happens.
children.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It can happen.
No.
I mean, that's non-negotiable. I mean,
No.
and then also, I put myself last all the time, but lately I've been saying, okay, there's things that I just got to do for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which I've never really done before.
No, that's important.
I gotta get back into my non-negotiable mind.
Oh
Like
boy.
I had this mindset, like certain things like non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And that was like working out. Every morning I would 20 minutes,
Got to do it.
like what I did was I trained my mind. If I thought about it, I did it. It was non-negotiable. I learned that from Tony Robbins. There was a segment where he says about, I get up every morning and I jump into my dip pool, 55 degrees.
Yeah.
And then it shows a picture of him getting up and just going with the towel, just going. He goes, "It's non-negotiable. This is non-negotiable. I get up, I put my robe on, I go downstairs and he shows him.
Yeah.
And then and I sit in front of the thing and he shows him looking at it and the robe comes up, he goes, I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like from that segment, I learned like the non-negotiable mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get to that point, it's non-negotiable. Because if you think about it, like working out is a, we know how powerful it is.
Right.
But there's also the demon of that. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people can't stick with it.
Yeah.
Because of that demon.
Yeah.
I fight that demon too, okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like I haven't worked out. And then you're like, I gotta work out. So that lingers and lingers. You know what I mean? So, and this the worst feeling. So I said to myself, you know what? If it pops up, I don't want to deal with it. It's non-negotiable. I'm just gonna execute it. And it's over. It's done.
We're at our martial arts school, and we're just now, doing all the construction and all that stuff. And I really just wanted to kind of give you behind the scenes of what it takes to open up a new martial arts school. I think this is also going to be very helpful for those that already have a martial arts school and you're looking to grow. And right from the very beginning, we've used Spark. Since I own Spark, I was wanting to, create a school that uses Spark 100%. I started working with my team at Spark to set up our accounts, to set up Ignite, to start running ads for us. And that was before we even signed a lease. And so I'm really excited to take you on a journey, meet my partner, John Gaston, and we're just gonna help a lot of other schools and school owners and their staff to learn a few things that they can implement in their schools as well. So let's go ahead and go on in. It's raining here in Florida today, which is not very likely, but and it's freezing cold, which is also not Florida. But anyways, let's go. Martial arts, kickboxing, Krav Maga. I mean, you've been through it all.
I've done a lot.
Done
I'm
a-
old. When you're old, you do that.
We decided we're going to partner up.
Right.
You called me up and said, "Hey, I'm in town. Let's get lunch."
Yep.
And you said, "Hey, you've already have two very successful schools in Illinois that are still running.
Still running.
You're managing them from Florida, and this is going to be the third school. And you started talking to me about why you want to do it, the impact that we're going to make, and the business that we're going to create. Because it's not just about impact; it's also we got to make money.
Yeah.
And that's important. We went to several locations, and then we found a location in South Tampa that we absolutely fell in love with. Like absolutely fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Like this is it. And then what happened?
Communication just fell.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like nothing. Communication 3-4 times a week went to 0.
Yeah. We decided on this location because first of all, the demographics are amazing. We went online, we did our due diligence, we made sure that this is a great area.
Right.
The incomes were up. A lot of kids, because we love teaching kids martial arts. We do both.
Schools nearby, yep.
Elementary schools nearby, private schools nearby. That was important.
Because I know there's sometimes are boundaries where certain people like, hey, we don't drive past, we don't do business past that point.
Hey, this is a tip you gave me. You call a realtor and say, hey, I'm thinking about buying a house in this area to raise a family in. Is this a good area? Two weeks ago, this place had orange walls. It was in really bad shape. We had to pull a crew in, which some of our crew is still here right now working. So we have our front desk counter, is custom made, it's coming in. It's taking a little longer.
Right.
Shipping, whatever they
Everything.
say. It's been tough right now, right?
Yeah.
But what John here did, which was awesome, is he's like, I can't enroll someone and have the mom or the dad or the adult just stand there while I'm going through our program. So he went out yesterday and he just rented these crappy chairs, all right, from a rental place.
Yep.
Because
It's all they had. Like I could have got white or these.
Yeah, okay.
That's it. So it was limited.
So again, it's just one of those things like you don't have to wait till everything's done. Just take action. So
And then we'll finish that wall behind that.
Yep.
Our logo, we're doing like a metal logo, lighted logo
Yep.
type concept for that. So, and then we'll have our slogan up above that. And some of our equipment in this back corner,
Yep.
right? Kiosk, we thought about here, but we might put it on the other side. Put it in
Yep.
the
So
lobby.
for attendance for the students to check in,
Yeah. And
they'll
then-
use the Spark kiosk to go in.
Yeah, and then here, shadow box uniforms of what our programs are. The picture collage of just people being happy. 'Cause that's-
People being happy.
Just
doing martial
have
arts.
fun doing it.
Yeah.
And then there was our belt charts, how the belt
Yeah.
charts and by age.
So people can see the vision of where they start and,
How the
and
belts
where they
work.
go from it. Yeah. In our school here, we're brand new and we're using Spark from day 0. And my mind is
Negative 0, like
Yeah.
before even 0 started,
right.
right?
It has taken so much pressure off of us because right now, while we're talking to our friends
Yes,
here,
yes.
Spark's working for us right now. Imagine if we had to do all of this build out and we had to, permits and signs and, crews and
Which is all the other stuff
which is
going on.
all the stuff you have to do it. I mean, you can't get around it, right?
Which we haven't talked about.
Right? You only have 24 hours in a day, and you have to make sure that you do all of these tasks. And Spark is going to do about 8 hours of work a day that we'd either have to hire someone else, hire them, train them, monitor them, all that stuff, or just let Spark do it.
Right. Every school owner I know may not say this. They're like, if it's Friday and you got something going on that night, that prospect may not hear from nobody for 3 days.
Yes.
So I haven't looked at Spark yet, but I know that Ignite is taking care of any leads that came
Right.
in.
I loved what you said. You're in here and you're working out with our new staff member, which is very important.
That's important.
But I keep saying that the leads are more important. But now we can do both. I've always wanted to do an unboxing, and yes, it is. This is, waiting for this. So don't mind this, but I'm gonna paint a vision for you real quick. So this is going to be the area that all of our parents sit at. And this is actually the construction holding zone for the moment because we're not done yet, right? Still not officially open, but all the parents will sit here. And it's so important to us that we have the parents involved in watching the students on the floor because then they can see the real value. So we encourage that. They're going to be cheering them on, giving them a thumbs up, smiling the entire time. They're just really going to enjoy the experience. So we have tables that are coming in here, more like a lounge area, chairs. We also have 3 55-inch televisions up there for the parents. On these things will be upcoming announcements, videos of what we do in classes, promoting our upgrade programs. There's gonna be all kinds of cool stuff that's gonna be on there. We're installing right now all the beautiful wood that's gonna hold all these mats into place. And so we should be done today. Yay, that's gonna be exciting. You'll also notice that on this side is 3 more 55-inch televisions. Again, we have the wall mats. They were just installed. I think they look absolutely beautiful.
We've had it's really picking up the last day or so. We are at, where are we at?
18 web leads in the
18
last
web
2
leads,
days.
yeah.
That's good.
Just-
18
yeah, for this
web
month.
leads
Yep.
in the last 2 days, and then 24 prospects. So some of those are probably walk-ins, right?
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of leads from our marketing, right? And we're converting them into appointments. And the problem that we've had recently is that we've had a lot of people reschedule. And that's really frustrating, right? Because we know that we have a goal of hitting our numbers, right? And so tonight we say, oh, there's 4 appointments coming in tonight. And 3 of them reschedule. So we're like, we wanted to get closer to that goal.
The challenges have been just reschedules, that, and really just juggling everything. These guys are doing an amazing job putting this stuff together so quick, but we're limited on the times that we can actually bring a student in and do an intro. And when they come in, we try to paint that picture of, oh, this wall is going to be this. We're painting that finished picture, so we're still making that first impression.
Spark allows us to reschedule automatically, and when we text message them, we say, hey, you missed your appointment, would you like to reschedule? And they can click, yes, I want to reschedule, and they can reschedule, and they have.
I'm ready to eat.
Yeah, that's
Palm trees are good.
palm trees are great, brother.
It's freezing back in Illinois.
Kind of digging into why they're there, you're going to find out that there's a kid that's adopted that needs consistency. You're going to find out that there's a kid that is being bullied. You're going to find out that the adult just went to his doctor last week, and if he doesn't change his lifestyle, then he's dead soon. You know what I mean? Things like that. I mean, we might always think they're coming in to learn kicks and punches, but we know that's not the case. And they might think they're coming in just for kicks, blocks, and punches and self-defense, but we need to educate them on what else they can get from this.
Right. Absolutely.
And we can't do that unless we ask the magical question. If you were to join, what are you looking to get out of this? And then dig into that.
Dad, come on, there's a package outside.
I've always wanted to do an unboxing, and yes, it is. This is, waiting for this. This right here is the Evo, Elite Evo tablet stand, and this is made by a company called Boss Tab. And what this is that we're gonna mount these tablets, we're using iPads, we're gonna mount these tablets to the wall so when our students come in, they'll be able to simply check themselves into class.
Let's see what that tabletop looks like when we get to it. Yep, it was right there. There it is.
Yep.
Boom.
So tabletop.
Pretty cool.
Yep. So this is gonna be for the parents to be able to sit down, throw their laptop up there,
Yep.
watch their kids do martial arts.
All right, so here we go.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah. Okay. So that's,
Now, what's that made out of?
so they're stackable. So you got the metal, and then you got the wood seat itself. And I'm assuming the next thing is going to be, well, so there's going to be 4 of these. Ron was in here last week, and he was watching me do an intro. And then I take the picture of the student on my phone, and then we post that into the profile. But Ron was like, never said nothing. He left, and then he wrote me the next day, and he said, listen, I got a new feature. After the intake, the photo can go right in there. You can take it right after they go ahead and do the new member sign up, and you can take it right off the iPad. So now you can take it and it's going to shoot it right into the profile. That's him watching, like, okay, what is a school owner going through every day and what can they do? And I said, simply that is where Spark is at. It's evolving. It's constantly trying to do what can we do to make our service the best for that person who can focus more on the relationships, teaching, and making sure they're successful with their operation.
We're not afraid to come back later and say, oops, we got that wrong. We're not afraid to come back and say, oh crap, we totally blew it. So therefore, since we're not afraid of that, We just take action. And a lot of times we don't know what the actions are way ahead of time. We just take the very next action. Mats aren't down. Let's put the mats down. Lease is not signed. Let's sign a lease. We got to pick out colors. I mean, simple things like that are just micro decisions and actions that we take. And then now, we're primarily getting all of our leads from Facebook and from Google. But, next week we're going to sit down, me and you, and we're going to brainstorm 100 more ways to get more. Like, we're not afraid to just keep taking the next step. Where I think maybe some people are afraid. We're not afraid to step out of our comfort zone, to walk up to a stranger and say, hey, have you ever thought about doing martial arts before? Because it's great.
I can cover here, or I can just come in here. I'm going to pull this knee through. When I pull that through, then I'm in here. Then I'm going to bring him into my, right? Getting students and building up our staff. My process personally won't be involved in the academy outside of just the implementation of getting it going and then being that guy that's coming in every once in a while and teaching classes. But so the idea is we have to not only get the students, but I also have to make sure that the staff is trained in the software, they're trained in phone process, they're trained in the intro, they understand how to run the class from the moment that they come in, what we have, the prep zone, how they line up, the protocol and everything is followed, as well as the lesson plan and structure. So there's a lot going on. I've got one staff member, he's a really great martial artist, very well diverse martial artist, but he's never taught. I'm working with him. He works a full-time job. He's only in the evening right now because we're not in a position to give him a full-time position yet.
And I've been training martial arts for 8.5 years. Martial arts impacted my life in a huge way. Before martial arts, I had no confidence, low self-esteem. I stuck through it, went through some hard times, and but at the end it paid off. And it gave me all these great things like confidence and the ability to help others.
You gotta find someone who's passionate about the martial arts, and with that is usually someone whose life has been changed themselves by doing that, and then wanting to give that same experience to the student, be it a child, be it a teen, be it an adult. Give that same exact experience. So I look for passion. The tools, we can build that. We just look for the person who has the passion and wants to do this as a career. Make sense?
My experience with John has been great so far. He's a really, really nice guy. He cares about his staff, and he does everything to help you succeed.
Parents quit, kids don't quit. And the parents never signed on for 4 years of sitting on a wood bench.
It's
like,
true.
what can we do to make the experience more positive for them for the very time that they're here?
So if they need to bring their laptop, sit it down, and do some work while they're doing. The other thing that's cool is we just got these installed. These are tablets, and it's running Spark. I just really love these things.
Yeah,
I think they're
cool.
I think they're going to be really great, right? And then if you follow into the main training floor. So we've got a banner that's going to go on this wall. It just came in, so maybe next episode we can show that off. But I really love it. It shows a lot of smiling, happy faces, doing martial arts. Shows John's history. Simply asking yourself, what am I going to do today that's going to move the needle forward for me and my business? I remember 20 years ago when I opened my first school, I would have all the enthusiasm. I would have all the energy. I had all the excitement of growing a business, only to pull up into my parking lot and go, what do I do? So I remember back then I would just mop the mats a third time, or I would clean the bathroom.
I said it before, and I live by the thing that at any moment when I don't know what to do, and I tell this to my staff, at any moment you ask yourself, what do I do next? What gets me my next student? What connects me to my next business owner that I can talk to about doing a co-op with? And what can I do to improve the relationship of an existing student? If you're doing those three things, you always kind of have a plan in place.
And me and John Gayson, we have a plan, we have it written down, and we're executing it every single day. So when we pull in the parking lot, all that enthusiasm, excitement that we have for growing this business and improving and impacting our community, we work on that. The county has not approved our sign for the very front of our door. And that's a big deal because if you look at our center, no one knows that we're here yet. So that just means that we have to step up our marketing so that we can let people know in the community that we're here because we have no signs.
Marketing is a numbers game, but you have to have something in place to increase your odds of winning. You need to make sure all your students achieve a goal of becoming a black belt in your school. By creating that culture and the mindset within your students and parents, it can really change the direction of your school. And that mindset is something that's been part of all my school's culture for decades. And because of that, we have had the blessing of experiencing tremendous amount of success.
I wrote something the other day on a napkin at a restaurant and gave a guy like 10 days free with pen and paper because I don't even have a card yet. So we're just, those are the struggles. Those are the things, but you know what? We do what we got to do and we make it happen. So I just know I've got to go the extra mile. Introduce ourselves.
Okay.
And become a partner in education.
With the local schools.
Yeah.
And then I know that all the schools around here have sponsorships available, and they'll put our banner on the fence at all the schools. We pay for it, obviously, for a sponsorship. But you know, all the parents are sitting in car line waiting to pick up their kids. They're going to see our banner sitting there. Okay, so let's do that as well. And then I think we got across the street. We have a mall. Let's go up there and see if they have any events coming up where we can do demonstrations. Even if it's just me and you, I'll put my black coat on. Do some demonstrations. Do board breaking, and then do some enrollments right at the mall, even if they have a kiosk.
There's a lot of things we're working against, but it's the same things any brand new school owner's working against.
Right on.
So.
All right, well, what do? We roll with the punches and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
We got to hit this goal. All right, good deal. All right, brother. Most people want the achievement before they decide, commit, or take any action.
Well, they want to decide, then they're thinking the achievement's like right around the corner.
That's right.
Big gap.
We'll skip the 2 middle things. That's right. $30 and $35 students already enrolled in the school. It's a little bit lower than we anticipated. So I always set pretty lofty goals, big goals. And we said that we'd have 100 students 90 days after we officially opened.
Just everything combined, there was little bits and pieces, like here was a speed bump, here was a speed bump. This is a beautiful studio, but if you would have walked in here 4 weeks ago, you might have seen orange walls. You're not looking to enroll your kid in a place that doesn't even look like they're permanently going to be here, right? So I think some of the slowdown was just getting what we needed to get done, have a finished touch.
Anytime that you have a challenge, there's always a solution. There's absolutely always a solution. So we just keep, going to the next, trying the next thing, doing the next thing, trying the next thing, rethinking it, and then all of that sort of snowballs. And so now our results will start, going up and going up. And if they don't, then we just change our approach.
You got Spark Ignite, where, hey, congratulations, you just completed your first 30 days. Congratulations, you just attended 3 classes this week. That's greater than 80% of the other students. Keep up the great work. So that's the automated part, right?
So I really wanted to show you a piece of Spark technology that's really saving schools a lot of time and making enrollments a lot easier, and that's called the enrollment kiosk. And obviously we have our logo of our school here, but you would have your logo here. And basically, when someone walks in for their appointment, you can do a new intake form where they literally can sign their waivers, right? They can sign the waiver, fill out everything they need to do, and now we have that. Yeah, here's where you can sign it, right? So they fill out their intake form so we know all the benefits that they're looking for, how well they're behaved, how they're doing in school, what the parents are really looking to get out of it. And it's just a really easy and powerful way to hand them this tablet and have them sit down and fill that out. And you can start enrolling people simply as using a tablet. We're looking for places where a lot of people hang out, right? So obviously we've done digital marketing. We know a lot of people hang out on Facebook and on Google, so we put our money there, all right? Now we're gonna go ahead and go to the mall and we're gonna have a booth and we're gonna do demos, we're gonna do introductory lessons right there. We're gonna schedule appointments at the mall because, part of our thinking is let's go where there's people.
We've had a great connection with 3 or 4 businesses that I've just went out and it's shaking hands and let them know I'm a person that is behind the name of Empowered.
All right, for the next several minutes, I'm going to show you what to do when your ads stop working or don't work at all. Now, this is a very, very simple exercise that you can do and that you should be doing. And what it's going to do is help you identify where your problem actually is. Many times, there's actually a problem somewhere else in the process, but a school owner will say, the first thing they'll say to me is, Logan, my ads aren't working. And then when we plug in the numbers right here, so let's say, this up a little bit. So let's say we spent $1,000 and we got 20 leads. That cost per lead is $50, right? In my world, that's in most marketplaces, that is very expensive, right? But let's do the math here. Let's understand our math and understand, hey, do we actually have a problem here? Right? So 20 leads book, and I just use 71% across the board. 14 of those 20 leads book an appointment. 10 of those 14 show up, and we sign up about 71% of those 10 into new members. So if our tuition rate is $180 times 7, that's $1,260. That's $1,260. Now we spent $1,000 to make $1,260. Who thinks that that's a good deal? You spend $1,000, you get $1,260 back. Now we're not talking about lifetime value or 3 months of memberships. Now we're not talking about any of that. We're talking about upfront. When you signed them, when they actually signed up, $1,260 on the front end. Right? That's a good day. Now, we spent $50 per lead for that. So is this actually a problem? I would say no, but we need to improve some things. So we have to start at the very beginning. We're running an ad. What's the first thing that can go wrong? Are people clicking my ad? If they are clicking my ad, what happens next? If people are clicking your ad, you need to look at the mechanism that is converting them. I prefer lead form ads currently, right now. If they are not clicking, there's a metric called CTR, click-through rate. My favorite one that I like to look at and measure is link click-through rate, meaning they click a link in the ad copy, or they click the button that you're using, the call to action button they're using, like learn more. You need to get that number up. So how do we do that? We need to look at our one way is to look at our audience. Audience. Who are we targeting? And are the ads specific to the problems or the desires of that audience?
We recently did a study on lead stats. Thank goodness to Logan Snyder of Martial Arts Marketing Agency. We get a ton of leads. One of the areas we really started focusing on conversion, like from web leads to new student. And one of our new schools, Parks Taekwondo Lake Worth, his conversion ratio was really high. And we asked him how. And he basically had a very simple technique. Master Kim, when he gets a lead that comes in through his text, he immediately engages with them. Because in the digital marketing world, they say when you get an inquiry, respond to them within minutes. It's very important when things go well, you don't get confident. You need to study why. And only way to understand why is to reverse engineer the result.
No matter what we're doing in life, there's always going to be setbacks. Even if you're really, really good at something, right? Which I think we are. We're very good at doing this stuff. But there's always going to be setbacks. And you know what? You could either get really super worried, which we got worried a little bit, but then that worry turned into action for us. All we focused on was brand new white belts because we didn't have anybody.
Yes.
And now that we have white belts, now we're focusing on, doing upgrades, higher level memberships, as well as retention, testing.
Now as we elevate to elite and masters, some of the staff teach the upgraded programs. It's adjusting constantly. We're not to our goal yet. We're at, I think we're in 110 days. The goal was 90 in 90 days.
Right.
We're at 88.
This is a life-changing experience here at Empowered, right? And we're gonna impact so many lives, it's gonna impact so many more lives. So to see more and more people, enrolling in the school, it really gives a whole lot of joy.
And that's the culture. That's the mission. All the staff members have to understand at the end of the day, we got to teach great martial arts, but it has to positively impact our students. When I came into this, I knew for the first 120 days, I'm here 5-6 days a week. You need to be accessible, but there's a cutoff. Like if we close here at 8 o'clock, I'm not accessible to you now.
Which is also something that Ignite
But that's
has
discipline.
helped you
Yes.
with, because you're not as worried anymore because you do have Spark and Ignite doing things after 8.
We hired an amazing guy, super personality, but he just didn't fit. He didn't fit in culture-wise. The way that he was brought up in the martial arts was different than the culture here. We developed over and over and over, worked with him on things to develop that. He just didn't have the command. The hardest thing is to address a problem, because you don't know if it's a problem or not. Do I see it? Is it really a problem, or did I just see it? Address it. Because if what you don't address, you are accepting.
Systems are just basically, the process that you go through each time. We've done this so long that we know what those processes are. We know at what month something needs to be instituted. We also know what the future looks like. So all of that stuff is just systematized. It's so important, even when you have a small school. That's why it's so important, even if you have if you're starting out from scratch, Spark and Spark Ignite is so powerful because it has these systems built into it already.
The construction, the sign, it's a constant reminder that some things take more patience than they're going to take patience because some things aren't going down by the calendar. Hey, hello. I know it's been a while since you guys have been here. So John Gaston, Empowered Martial Arts. A lot of things have changed. We're going into our 5th month. We have over 100 students now actively training. Classes are going really well. So come in and see what we've done on changes and kind of check out some of the classes.
Here we have our Empowered Martial Arts and Gracie Humaita gear wall, where our students can come in and see some of the merchandise that they want to get. They can see our gi, feel the material themselves, and place orders through us. Our price point, our martial arts program sticker here that shows our multiple levels of youth programs, teen and adult programs as well. Here we have the We Empower collage, showing various snapshots of Hanshi John Gaston and students throughout the last years, and our locations in Springfield and Rochester, Illinois. We have our Gracie Jiu-Jitsu collage here. Belt systems for each of the age groups. including our Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu belts for youth and adult.
So does those class times look like they fit for you?
Here we have pictures of all the head instructors at our location. Our on-hand merchandise. Our parent seating area.
All the parents will sit here, and it's so important to us that we have the parents involved in watching the students on the floor, because then they can see the real value.
The family gets to sit here, see on our TVs our slideshow of information, upcoming events, everything that we're doing within the week, special announcements and shout outs. On the house coffee machine. Our private intro room for our one-on-one introduction for someone's first step in their journey of martial arts.
The operating part is the fun. The construction of that, it's kind of fun to set up your layout and everything, but just usually a hassle and they slow things down. So it feels good to be out of that. We've got the initial 100.
The reason we came to Empowered Martial Arts is I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old, and they are very small for their size. And I just wanted to make sure that they get the self-confidence and get some abilities to just protect themselves from bullying, especially since they're getting close to middle school age.
He's just excited every time we come. He wakes up in the morning and he's like, "Dad, is it karate day?" "Yeah, buddy, it is." And the smile on his face is great.
For us being 1,200 miles away from our other two locations, just getting a gauge on this market, the communities, the different neighborhoods, where's that dividing line that this neighborhood will come this far. So I think just for us, it was really making nothing different in how we would do our normal operations, but it was how do we apply that to the community that we're now serving.
If his legs are far apart, you're gonna slide to the side, step behind, okay? He's gonna keep this grip. I'm gonna sit.
The reason why I wanted to come to Empower is because I come from a striking background, and Hans Shijian offers a lot of lessons with Jiu-Jitsu, and I just wanted to learn the fundamentals and really get my ground game back to being elite.
I come to Empower Martial Arts because I was looking for some type of workout that was not boring. I go to the gym, I'm very active, and I always love martial arts, so that's the main reason I looked for some place where I could do that, and I'm lucky I found this academy.
So it really was like having another employee on staff assisting me, I guess you should say, with the prospects, the lead generation, setting up appointments and things like that. So in the beginning, Spark did a lot of the stuff that took the weight off my shoulders. 250 is the goal for this academy. We would like to be there in a year to 18 months. I think we're right on track with what we're projecting right now. We're probably going to be there right at the 1 year mark, or maybe 13, 14 months. And right now it is the time as we hit the summer. As I said earlier, the new students came in. The focus is still getting those numbers from 1 now to 250, but at the same time, now we know that we need to have our testing procedures in. We're starting our other experience classes, which are upgrades where they can go into the elite program, the master's program. So we're focused on those things now and shifting into that. So, but there's a lot of other things kicking in gear now as well. Today, there's a lot of successful school owners, and I think our industry as a whole, we like to teach and we like to share. That's why we do what we do.
You know, putting this whole docu-series together, I was excited to do this because I wanted people to see some of our failures. And then we found a location in South Tampa that we absolutely fell in love with. Like, absolutely fell in love with it. Like, this is it. And then what happened?
Communication just failed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like nothing. Communication 3-4 times a week went to 0. The challenges have been just reschedules, that, and really just juggling everything. These guys are doing an amazing job putting this stuff together so quick, but we're limited on the times that we can actually bring a student in and do an intro.
30 and 35 students already enrolled in the school. It's a little bit lower than we anticipated. So
just everything combined, there was little bits and pieces, like here was a speed bump, here was a speed bump. This is a beautiful studio, but if you would have walked in here 4 weeks ago, you might have seen orange walls. you're not looking to enroll your kid in a place that doesn't even look like they're permanently going to be here.
Showing the world that we're human, that they could do it too, to try to inspire more schools out there to grow and to prosper and to make some mistakes along the way has really been a really awesome experience. At the same time, I've really enjoyed doing it with you. I mean, you're an incredible human being. First of all, it's the only kind of people I do business with, is really incredible human beings. And number next, I mean, you have so much knowledge. You're so good at it. You're hitting your stats.
For us being 1,200 miles away from our other 2 locations, just getting a gauge on this market, the communities, the different neighborhoods, where's that dividing line that this neighborhood will come this far. So I think just for us, it was really making nothing different in how we would do our normal operations. Skill set, like what skill sets do you have to grow your school? Those skill sets have to be different than the skill sets that you're using to teach. At any moment when I don't know what to do, and I tell this to my staff, at any moment you ask yourself, what do I do next? What gets me my next student? What connects me to my next business owner that I can talk to about doing a co-op with? And what can I do to improve the relationship of an existing student? If you're doing those 3 things, you always kind of have a plan in place.
And me and John Gayson, we have a plan, we have it written down, and we're executing it every single day. So when we pull in the parking lot, all that enthusiasm, excitement that we have for growing this business and improving and impacting our community, we work on that. A lot of times when you're first starting off, you want to pinch as many pennies as you can to start this business. And I would say that, going into a business, it's going to cost you more than you think it's going to cost you.
You got to find someone who's passionate about the martial arts, and with that is usually someone whose life has been changed themselves by doing that, and then wanting to give that same experience to the student, be it a child, be it a teen, be it an adult. Give that same exact experience. So I look for passion. The tools, we can build that. We can build that. We just look for the person who has the passion and wants to do this as a career.
I wouldn't start a school without Spark, because Spark is a software that's going to take care of a lot of things for you, so that you can move your time away from all those little mundane tasks that must be done, and let Spark do that so that you can focus on growing your business.
He wrote me the next day and he said, listen, I got a new feature. After the intake, the photo can go right in there. You can take it right after they go ahead and do the new member sign up, and you can take it right off the iPad. So now you can take it and it's going to shoot it right into the profile. That's him watching, like, okay, what is a school owner going through every day and what can they do? And I said, simply that is where Spark is at. It's evolving. It's constantly trying to do what can we do to make our service the best for that person who can focus more on the relationships, teaching, and making sure they're successful with their operation.
So I really wanted to show you a piece of Spark technology that's really saving schools a lot of time and making enrollments a lot easier, and that's called the enrollment kiosk.
The system's got to be there. Like we have Spark, we have Ignite, we have the website, we have the autoresponders. All this stuff is working. So we know that's consistently, all these systems are in place. Even if John forgets to text a prospect on Wednesday, I know the system already did it. So I'm glad we made it look easy. I think anytime that you face a challenge, it's a challenge. And I think just one is having the confidence that we've done it before and not overreacting to it and understand, okay, what do we got to do that? Then we have each other to bounce that off of. And if we don't know it, we have people in the network.
Primarily getting all of our leads from Facebook and from Google. But, next week we're going to sit down, me and you, and we're going to brainstorm 100 more ways to get more. Like, we're not afraid to just keep taking the next step.
Right.
Where I think maybe some people are afraid. We're not afraid to step out of our comfort zone, to walk up to a stranger and say, hey, have you ever thought about doing martial arts before? Because it's great. I'm honestly, we had all these challenges and we overcame them. I was really pleased about that. I was pleased that we just kept getting through them, because I know one thing is that if you just keep moving forward, you're going to keep moving forward and overcome. So I was 100% pleased with how it's turned out here.